Are you a fun sponge? Hey guys, this is Sandy with Mindset Matters More. And today we're going to talk about this idea that I just heard. It's called a fun sponge. So, this is what a fun sponge is. It is a person who, whenever they enter the room, just sucks the fun out of it. Are you that person? Well, if you know somebody, then let's talk about this because, I am a person who I love my friends dearly. I do. I absolutely love them. But it was never that way like years ago. Years ago, I was just so desperate to have friends and to be loved and cared about, and found that like I was surrounding myself by people who were not happy with their lives. Now, for whatever reason, that's where they are and that's their journey, and, no shade to them. Like, that's who they are at that point in time. I don't know if they're like that anymore, but I found that when I was on my journey, or when I began my journey to evolve, naturally, a lot of those people just fell away. A lot of those people just kind of stopped hanging out with me because I was always finding the bright side to things. I was always finding silver linings. I was always defending people because when people would like gossip about other people, I would play devil's advocate for the positive, right? I know devil's advocate is supposed to be like the negative, but it's like, why can't this person look at it this way? Or what about if this is happening? And misery loves company, right? And so when you're not participating in shit talking, when you're not participating in the bitching and the moaning and complaining, like those people don't want to hang out with you anymore, which is, again, fine. Like, that's how they communicate. And, they find joy and pleasure in it. I just didn't anymore. And so I had to find my way out of those rooms. So, today I don't have a lot of friends because when I hang out with my friends, it's always about positivity. We talk spirituality. We talk about God. We talk about, positive things that are happening to us, things in the future that, we're aspiring to be and doing and being and loving life. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, lives, and you want to talk to somebody, you want to vent, and you want to share emotional shit. Like, yeah, there's a time and a place for that. But when the entire conversation is like just negativity, like gossip, shit talking, when it like that is like the negative vibes of the conversation, then it's time to cut your losses and be out. Now, why do I say this? Now, I've talked about this before, but that affects you 100%. That is going to seep into the rest of your life. If you're sitting there for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours with your friends, just living in this negativity vortex, it's going to pollute the way that you think, the way that you feel, and how you project that onto the next person that you talk to. Like, are you sitting there talking shit with people who are like really high vibes and there's like, yeah, we don't want that around us. What if you're talking about shit that's like wicked negative to people who you really love and care about? Like, do you want to spread that negativity to them on top of it? I really don't think you do. Maybe you're doing it unconsciously. So what do? You got to start to notice, like, am I sitting here talking about people? Am I sitting here like putting people down in an attempt to forge a relationship with somebody? Am I sitting here talking shit about a person, place, or thing with somebody in an effort to create friendship? Like, doesn't that sound crazy to you? Let me be super negative so that I can be friends with this person. Let me talk shit so that I can be friends with you. That's so backwards. The real relationship glue is positivity, love, joy, happiness. All those wonderful words. And so you really have to think about what is the foundation of the friendships that you have. Is it based on like negativity? I mean, if it is, it might be time to reevaluate it. Now, here's the thing, right? Is that sometimes you just can't leave. You just can't go. But here's a question that I want you to ask yourself, okay? If you knew that you only had a month to live, would you still sit there and talk shit about people? Would you still sit there and dwell in negativity for those 30 days? No, you wouldn't. I mean, I would hope that if you're listening to me, that you would not be that person, that you would not want to indulge in negative vibes, okay? We don't do negative vibes over here. And yeah, you're not going to be around those people anymore. But what you are going to find is you're going to find a new peaceful life that's going to grow and blossom exponentially because you're going to start to find other happy, joyous, and free people. And, I went to this manifesting summit a couple months back, and I remember the person who was hosting it, she had such an infectious, positive attitude. And I remember walking in there and hearing her. My reflex was to be like, calm the fuck down, lady. But then I thought, you know what? How miserable of me to be sitting here judging her for being happy and excited. She's on stage talking in front of thousands of people, hosting in front of 10,000 people on Zoom. And she was just had this capacity to harness all this happiness, joy, and just spread it out. And I was like, man, I'm being a little jealous here. Like, I'm being jealous. And I just remember thinking, you know what? Let me radiate in this joy. Let me radiate in this positive vibe of a person. And like, it just made the trip so much more better. Like, I was able to just be happier with my two daughters who came with me. I was able to just be like, hey, you know what? I want that. I want happiness. I want it more. I want to be smiling and laughing and just bursting with love. And I was that because I decided not to indulge in the negativity. Now, if I would have sat there and been talking shit with my kids about them, what would that have done to them? They would have been there dwelling in negativity. They would have been there like pulling them down, not enjoying the manifestation summit. Like, I would have been there destroying the entire experience. And do you think they would have gone with me to another one? Probably not. But here we are, pushing forward, had an amazing time. And that's because you get to choose. That's that choice point. You have a choice point. When you want to be positive or negative at every single moment, do you want to be having a good experience or one that is going to bring everybody down? And so when you start to look at the people who you surround yourself with, are you the fun sponge or are you surrounding yourself with fun sponges? Are they sucking out your light? Okay, phrasing, but are they taking away from who you are? Are they diminishing that spark of love within you? And so you have to evaluate each person with that sort of lens and then just be happy, just love, and they will naturally just fade away because you want to surround yourself with happy people, and happy people will be attracted to that, and negative people will be repelled by it. So, what do you think? Is that too harsh? Do you still have to tolerate negative people? Let me know, you guys, okay? I'm putting a link in the description to my book and to my YouTube. So check this out, okay? Love you guys. Bye.